This session will guide you how to perform sign-in operation with JWT token. To implement JWT token, open Spring Boot project and go to the file form.xml and add required number of dependencies. Open a browser and go to the website mvnrepository.com and search by using the keyword Java JWT-API. In short, JWT-API. Then search, click on the link and choose the version 0.11.5. Then copy the dependency details and paste it in your form.xml inside dependencies. Find out the tag dependencies and paste it. Then search another dependency by using the keyword JWT-IMPL. Then click on the link, choose the version 0.11.5, then copy paste the dependency. Next, search one more dependency in the same website by using the keyword JWT-Jackson. Then click on the link, choose version 0.11.5, copy paste the dependency to form.xml file. Then we can save the file form.xml and close, update your project. Right click on your project name, then choose the option Move, Update Project, Enable Course Update, then click on OK. Now the project is updated, then we can start implementation. Go to the build path src main Java, then choose the package model. Create a new Java class for generating JWT token. Enter the class name as JWT Manager. After creating a class JWT Manager, make this class as a service class by adding the annotation @service. Then define a final string to save the secret key and provide your secret key here. So secret key mixing of alphabets and numbers. Then create object for secret key class. So find out the class name secret key, then create object for it and initialize by using the class keys from the package JSON web token.security and call the method HMA show key and provide byte array of your secret key as a parameter. Secret key dot get bytes. Then create a method for generating JWT token. So for token generation, we can take username as a parameter. In this project, we are using email as a username. So let me take email as an input. Then create dictionary by using a Java collection map. So it is from the package java.util. Key data type is string and value data type is also a string. Data equal to new hash map. So then save your inputs in the dictionary. Data.put. Name of the key is email and value is email from the parameter. Then return JWT token by using the class JWTs.builder. Then set claim and add your dictionary. Then set issued at current date and time. Then set expiration. from current date and time to 1 day. New date dot get time. So get current time and add with milliseconds per day. So we can get this information total milliseconds per day from website. Milliseconds per day. Open Google and search what is the total hours in milliseconds per day. We can get 864 and followed by 5 zeros. I'm setting the expiration of token from current time to 1 day in milliseconds. Then sign the token with the secret key. So already we created object for secret key. We can pass that object for signing the JWT token. Then convert into a string by adding compact. End with semicolon. Now we successfully generate a token by embedding the user data on it. Then go to the class users manager and create a method for validating credentials. Take username and password as a parameter. In this case, username is email. So string email, comma, string password. Then go to repository, add JPA query for validating username and password from database. So go to the package klu.repository, open the file user repository.java and write a JPA query validating username password from the database. At the rate query, select count of u from the entity class users where u.email equal to the parameter email and password u.password equal to the parameter password. Then create a method public int validate credentials with the two parameters by adding the annotation at the rate para. Specify the parameter name. The first parameter name is email in the JPA query and data type of the parameter is string and parameter name email, comma, second parameter at the rate para and the parameter name is password given in the query and the data type of the password is string and the parameter name. End with semicolon. Now the JPA query is added in the repository. Then go to user managers.java, apply the constraint user repository object dot call the method validate credentials and pass email comma password as a parameter. The result of the query is greater than 0, then username and password is present in the database. It is a valid username and password. If the condition is true, then generate JWT token. For generating JWT token, we must have an object for the class JWT manager. Then create object for JWT manager by using the annotation auto-wire and create object for JWT manager. Then by using this object, we can generate a token. String token equal to object of JWT manager dot call the method generate token and pass email as an input. Then return by adding the success code 200 and concatenate with the generated token. If it fails, then return the error with code 401 invalid credentials. Then go to the controller, open the file user-controller.java, create a new endpoint for validating username and password. At the rate post mapping, set service name here, sign in. Then create a method public with return type string, method name sign in. Then take value from request body. So add the annotation at the rate request body and pass object of the entity class. Then return by using the object of user manager and call the method validate credential and pass email ID and password from the parameter object u. So u dot get email and second parameter is u dot get password. Then end with semicolon. Now all the implementation is ready in the backend. Then we can test this API by using a Postman tool. Open a Postman tool and also open MySQL Workbench. Connect with the database. Then execute a select query for the table users. We can provide the valid email address and password for generating a JWT token. So copy this email and go to Postman and set the request method as post and enter the URL http://localhost:/port number 8080, then the API name users followed by the service name sign in. Then go to Spring Boot application and start its deployment. Right click run as Spring Boot app. So once it is deployed, double check the port number. It is running with the port number 8080 and note down the API name users. Inside users, there is a service called sign in. So you can provide the correct URL localhost 8080, then the API name users and the endpoint name sign in. Then click on the body section, provide a raw data in the form of JSON. So I want to provide two inputs. One is email and another one is password. So this is the email available in my database. Then the second field is password. So note down the password which is available in your database and provide the correct email and password for generating a token. Then submit your request by click on the send button. It generates a token and returns with a success code 200. If you provide a wrong credential, then submit your request by click on the send button. It returns the message with error code 401 invalid credential. Now the API is properly responding and generating a JWT token based on your credentials. Then we can integrate this in React application. Then open React project, go to the library file api.js and add a function for session management. We will save the generated JWT token in the browser's cookie for session management. That will be used in future implementations. Create a function with the keyword export, set session with the three parameter, session name and the session value and expiry in days. Then create object to get current date and time. Let d equal to new date. Then set expiry time. Then set expiry time in days based on the third parameter. D dot set time. Get current time by using d dot get time plus adding the third parameter into total milliseconds per day 864 followed by 5 zeros. Then add session into the cookies. Document dot cookie equal to use the string formatter symbol. It's not a single quotes. This symbol is available near to the escape key. Use the string formatter symbol and embed the session name. Session name is available in the first parameter. Session name equal to embed the session value. It is available in the second parameter. Session value then separate with a semicolon, expires equal to, embed the expiry value. It is available in the object D and convert into UTC format. After setting a expiry and save the cookie in the current domain path. So path equal to slash and make it as secure. This is the iterative function to save values in the browser cookies for session management. Then create another utility function to get value from cookies. Export keyword function and name the function as get session. This is to perform read value from cookies and pass session name as a parameter. Based on the session name, we can retrieve the value from browser cookies. So let's create an object for decoded cookies. Create object for decoded cookie and initialize with decode URI component and pass document.cookie. Then extract value by creating an array cookie data equal to from decoded cookie split based on the special character semicolon. Now all the cookies are saved in the array cookie data. Then execute a loop for let x in cookie data and test the condition if cookie data of index value x includes the session name, then return value of the session. Return cookie data of x dot substring and extract value of the session from the array. Cookie data of x dot index of session name. So the index of method will return the starting index of the first occurrence of session name plus session name dot length plus 1. If the session name not found in the browser cookies, then return null value. So this function will help us to read session name from the browser cookies. Then we can start integrating the API for sign-in operation. Go to the file app.jsx and create a method for sign-in. In sign-in module, there are two input elements. One is username and another one is password. And we will use this particular div element to display the response in case of failure. So user name dot style dot border equal to null and password dot style dot border equal to null and set response div dot inner HTML value equal to null. Then validate the input fields by applying the condition if username dot value equal to null, then highlight that input field with red border. Username dot style dot border equal to 1px solid red border and user name dot focus. Place cursor on the input field, then return. Validate another input control if password dot value equal to null, then highlight the input field with red border, password dot style dot border equal to 1px solid red border. Then place cursor on that particular input field, password dot focus, then return. If validation success, then prepare a JSON data for API integration. Let data equal to JSON dot string IFY. Then list out all the values here. So email colon, it is available in the input text field, user name dot value, comma, password equal to available in the input text field, password dot value. Now the JSON data is ready. Then we can call API function to integrate the API. So use call API. Request method is post and second parameter is the URL. What is the URL we tested using Postman tool that we can provide here? So copy the URL from Postman tool and paste it here as a second parameter. Instead of providing a complete URL in all places, we can define the base URL. So base URL in the sense http colon localhost colon 8080. We can define a base URL in api.js, create a base URL. On top, I'm creating by using export constant base URL equal to provide the base URL here http colon double slash localhost followed by the port number of backend code. Then use this base URL for API integration. Go to app.jsx, use base URL here and make sure after adding a base URL, it is imported from the file API. If it is not imported, you need to import it. After importing, we can use it. Base URL plus then we need to provide the remaining part from the URL. Up to this already defined in the base URL. So then we need to concatenate the remaining part of the URL. And the third parameter is input data that already defined. We can pass the object data as a third parameter. Next, the response handler. This dot, I just name the method as sign in response and end with semicolon. Then create a method with the name sign in response with a parameter response. Then handle the response by creating an array for response data equal to the parameter object res dot split based on the special character. Now the array having a two value, index number 0 have the code and index number 1 have the message. Validate the value which is available in index number 0. If it is equal to 200, 200 is a success code. Then save the received JWT token in the browser cookie for session management. Already we have a method set session. Use this method. This method have three parameters: session name, session value, and expiry. After adding this method, double check it is imported properly from the file .api. If it is not imported, add the function name in import statement, then we can use it. Then go to the function sign in response. The set session function needs three parameters. First parameter is name of the session. Let me provide the name of the session as CSR ID. CSR stands for client side rendering in web applications. CSR ID and the value of the CSR ID is the generated token. It is available in the array index number 1. I'm setting the expiry 1 day for this session. Then redirect to some other URL window.location dot replace with the URL dashboard. Else there is an error, then display the error message on the div element which is available in the sign in module. I'm going to use this div element to display the error message on the front end. So the ID of the div element is response div. Else response div dot inner HTML equal to use the string formatter symbol. It's not a single quotes, it is a string formatter symbol, and add a line break by using BR. Then place a label to display the error message. So here I'm going to embed the error message dollar open and close brace inside the array index number 1. Then set style for the label, style equal to color red. Then save. This function process the received response. If the response code is 200, save the received JWT token in the browser cookie for session management and redirect it to the page dashboard. Else, displays the error message in the div element which is available in the sign in module. Response div.inner HTML equal to with the 2 line breaks and placed a label control and set a font color as red for displaying the error message. Then we need to activate the URL. So for activating this URL, create one new component in the folder src, right click and create a new file dashboard.jsx. After adding a file dashboard.jsx, use the shortcut RCC and create a class component. Just to display the message welcome. Then go to main.jsx, set URL for the newly created component. Root path equal to slash dashboard and the element equal to dashboard, and close the root tag properly. And make sure the import statement is added for the component dashboard. Then save, go to app.jsx, bind the function sign in the constructor. Go to constructor, bind the function sign in equal to sign in dot bind this. After binding, go to the design part of sign in module. There is a button for sign in operation. Add on click event for this button. On click equal to call the method sign in. Then save. Go to the browser. Use Firefox browser so that we can able to see the generated JWT token is saved in the browser cookies or not. Use Firefox browser and provide the URL of your front end. It opens a welcome page. Then go to sign in. Provide a correct credential which is available in the database. Then click on sign in. It navigate to dashboard. So in dashboard, we just display the message welcome. Then go to the cookies, use the shortcut Control Shift C. Then click on the storage, go to cookies. We can see the URL of the front end. There we can see the cookie which we saved in the sign in response function with the cookie name CSR ID and the value of JWT token. Return back to the home page. Then provide wrong credentials. Click on sign in. It displays the error message invalid credentials in the front end. We successfully implemented sign in module with JWT token that will be saved in the browser cookie for session management. That token will be used in future implementations.